Flynn, just two of the names. Danny Cullen in there. These guys are all top drawer hurlers. They're the go-to men for Setanta, and we've seen it game in, game out, year in, year out with this club, and they got to the All-Ireland series as well, and they won Ulster. But these are the guys that have the club where they're at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose Declan Davin, you have a great scoring set up front, you know, and even the semi-final against Port, you know, I thought Stephen Gillespie had a good game on Davin, but he's always going to score, and Krusty had a good game on Declan. But then other boys step up. Jared Gilmore popped 3 over Richie Keys, and Mick Donoghue from midfield scored 1-2. So look, they have a lot of danger going forward here, and then Danny tidied up everything in defence, you know. So look, they're a serious outfit, and Eunans are going to have to really get a high intensity up for early on.
Can Eunans get closer to them this year?
I think so. I think Setanta very strong up front, and in defence they have a couple of question marks, but I think Eunan's going to need big games from Sean McVeigh, who's maybe scoring 4 or 5 points a game. Kevin Keeley has hit 1-9 in the last 2 games, you know, and Conor Greeley's hit 3 or 4 goals. So look, they're going to need to hit the net 2 or 3 times, Oisin, to have any chance, and try to keep that Setanta forward line at bay, and maybe congest that area as much as possible, because if the spaces open up in this game, Setanta are going to come out on top, you know.
Yeah. Would it be seen as a major shock in Donegal hurling if Eunans won this today?
I think so. I said no doubt about it. Setanta's carrying hot favourites, I say, and through the group stages plus 66. They haven't been beat now in 2 seasons, Championship hurling. So look, a big shock, but it has been the years of the shock so far in clubs all over the country, you know. So look, I fancy Setanta maybe, but you never know what Eunans could bring today. Yeah,
okay, we'll wait and see. Let's run through the starting 15s now. The starting sides for both teams. We'll go with the defending champions. First of all, Setanta. Kieran Bellew is once again in goals. There's a change in the full-back line. Coming in wearing 17 will be Brendan Tourish. In the middle at full-back is Martin Boner, and then Mark Callahan out on the wing wearing number 4. The half-back line is made up of Denham Rowan, Danny Cullen and Niall Cleary. Richard Key and Michael Donoghue are at 8 and 9. As we head to the forward 6, Declan Coulter's in the middle, and the half forward line wearing 11. He of course will be the man that's taking all the frees for Setanta today. Out on his right is Jared Gilmore, and then Bernard Lafferty will wear number 12. A change in the forward line as well for Setanta. Mark Devine wearing number 22 is going to come in and take the place of Conor McGettigan, while Josh McGee wears number 14 and David Flynn wears number 15. On to St Eunans. Kieran Hennessy will be in goals for St Eunans today, but he's going to be wearing number 16. A lot of the footballers, of course, back in recent weeks for the St Eunans side. One of those is Brian McIntyre. Eddie Gaffney and Connor Park are the 3 in the full back line. Colin Flood, Stephen Doherty and Brendan Horgan are at 5, 6 and 7. Cormac Finn and Sean Halvey will be the midfield partnership at 8 and 9. Sean McVeigh, one of the go-to men for the Cathedral Towns, wearing 11. Out wearing 10 is Ryan Hulferty, and Kevin Keeley wears number 12. Conor Kelly, Conor O'Grady and Matt O'Hearn are at 13, 14 and 15, and they of course are the full forward line. So that's how both teams will line out. We're just a couple of minutes away from the start of this game, and I see that the official Trevor Maloney, a Buncrana club man, is going to be taking charge of this game today. And do you expect a high-paced game here, Mickey?
I expect St Eunans to set the tempo here in the first 10 minutes. They're going to have to, you know, and ask questions of the Setanta team, Oisin, but I expect a heavy 10 minutes here, and the referee's going to be busy maybe, you know, so looking forward to it now.
Yeah. Okay then, we're just minutes away from the start of this 2020 Donegal Senior Hurling Championship Final. Join us for full live match coverage after these. For the 2020 Donegal Senior Hurling Championship final, the first attack of the game is for St Eunans in these opening seconds, but Setanta are able to come away from the heart of the defence and cut that one out. Now Cleary sends it long down the left hand side. The target man is Davin Flynn. Davin Flynn out ahead of Brian McIntyre. Flynn now from about 50 outs, dropping one high, dropping over the bar, and Davin Flynn showing the quality of a hurler that he is, getting Setanta up and running in the opening seconds here. Mickey McCann.
Yes, great score, Davin out in front, you know, and Brian Mac not like him, usually a bit tighter. So look, that's a good start for Davin, and Brian McIntyre need to get tighter as the game goes on, you know, because if you give Davin that space, he's going to punish you. And
Sean Halvey picks it up for Eunans now in the middle of the park, but he's under pressure from the men kitted out in the black and green jerseys here at the O'Donnell Park as they scrap for the ball, and Cormac Finn, St Eunans midfielder, gives it out to the left to Flood. Flood again is going to go from distance here, but Flood's effort is going to go out to the right and wide, and that would be a first wide for St Eunans in this opening game. St Eunans playing from right to left into the clubhouse end of the O'Donnell Park, and Bellew, the keeper for Setanta, sends it long downfield. The break and then around the middle third's picked up by Coulter. Coulter goes through two St Eunans players. Support is there out to his right with Cleary again. Cleary knocks this one high, and it's going to drop in front of the St Eunans goal. Chance of a goal here for Setanta. Did a couple of swipes at it, and it's in the back of the net, and the man who stuck it into the back of the net wearing 22 is Mark Devine. And Devine, of course, last year chipping in with 2 goals, and he's got the opening one here, and Setanta out of the blocks much quicker. Mickey McCann.
Yes, Mark Devine coming in as a starter there later on, you know, and come on as a sub against Burt in the semi-final, hitting 1-1 or 1-2 as well. Very sharp inside, and bad to start here for Eunans. They need to get into this game and get a score very quick, or it'll soon go away from them. Yeah, it's amazing what a score can do. It can settle the nerves for the Letterkenny boys, but there's a scrap on here in the middle of the park trying to get at that sliotar, and Eunans managed to pull away with it, and Cormac Finn has it now. Support out to his left if he wants to use him. Connor Park, of course, one of the dual players for them, knocked in as far as the 65, and Conor O'Grady has come way out from up top, sent down the left hand channel as St Eunans go on the hunt now with Kevin Keeley, but Keeley's effort is blocked down. Pressure there from Cleary. Cleary just lets Keeley know that he's beside him, and then Setanta straight away knocking the ball way up the field, and it's picked up by Stephen Doherty, the centre half back for Eunans. They're going to knock it out to the right hand side as St Eunans continue to go on the hunt and try and get the first score of the game, but they can't just control things at the moment, and it's easy for Setanta as they launch it forward up as far as the 45 in the Eunans half. Picked up by wing half forward Bernard Lafferty. Lafferty sends it out to the left. Great vision on this occasion by Brian McIntyre, but he just can't get control of it. There's a push in the back there as well, and the referee Trevor Maloney says it's a free out to St Eunans on the edge of their own D, Mickey. Yeah, much more like Brian McIntyre. They're rushing out in front and getting the ball off Davin and won a free out, you know, but another end Kevin Keeley, the 21 yards out, hit it short, you know, under the keeper. It's punishing, and just before that Colin Flood with a bad wide. So look, Eunans need to get on the scoreboard here and settle down and get things rolling, you know. Yeah, 3.5 minutes played of this 2020 Donegal the Senior Hurling Championship final, and it's a goal and a point to Setanta. No score yet for St Eunans. David Flynn from play, and then Mark Devine with that goal. I have the men from the cross in front, and here's a free now for Conor O'Grady. Bang in the centre of the park. Eunans, of course,
You could say they've home advantage here, but both these sides have played a lot of hurling, of course, at this venue. And Conor O'Grady with an absolute cracker of a score from the line in the middle of the field between the posts, and now maybe that will settle the Letterkenny boys up and running. A fine score from Conor O'Grady, Mickey.
Yeah, great score. 80 yards out there, and Conor's been hitting the frees well and taking the scoreboard over well for Eunans all year. So look, hopefully that'll settle them down now and get them into this game. But they're just making a wee bit too many mistakes here around the ball and stuff, Oisin, and they just could be more clinical, when it comes to them.
Well, once again, the scrap is on to try and get possession. And Eunans are doing well in these scraps. They've won a few of them so far. Flicked forward to Sean McVeigh now. McVeigh sends it up over the top, and the chase is on forward, and it's the cornerback Mark Callahan for Setanta's able to cut that one out. Knocks it forward to Gilmore now. Gilmore looking up again. Gilmore from the 65 sends it high, and that one goes out to the left and wide. It will be the first wide of the game for Setanta. St Eunans have won as well, but it is the defending champions that lead by that goal in these early stages, coming from Mark Devine. Hennessy takes his puck out. It drops around about 60 out from the Eunans goals, and again it's picked up by the Setanta boys, and Cleary now playing on this near side. Back it goes to Rowan. Rowan sends it forward to Devine. Turning on the St Eunans defence, coming in as far as the 21 on the 13. Another chance of a goal here for Setanta. It's taking a save from Hennessy, a good save from Hennessy, but Josh McGee will be disappointed. He should have done better on that occasion. Mickey McCann.
Yes, actually, there's far too much space on here in the Eunans defence, and Setanta looked very dangerous for goals every time it goes in. Eunans going to have to get bodies back a bit quicker, or get a sweeper in there or something, because these goals are going to kill the game off, and Setanta's planning to do that early, so they need to get the gaps closed up on there,
We're live from this hurling final, the Senior County Hurling Decider in association with Gal Oil. Fuel you can trust at Claddybridge in Castlefin. And of course, action also available on Donegal GAA TV if you're tuned into the streaming. But we're going to have this 65 now to come from Declan Coulter. Coulter, of course, scored 1-2 in the big decider last year between these two sides, and he's looking to open his account here this afternoon with a 65, which would put the men from the Cross back in charge by 4 scores. Here comes Coulter's effort, and Coulter's effort is going to go between the posts, and Coulter's open his account, and it now means it's a 1-2 to 1 point game, and that advantage back to 4.
Yes, good score by Declan there, Oisin, but a great save by Cian Hennessy to keep the goal out. So look, maybe Eunans happy enough to get away with a point there, and it's still here for them hurling game. There's only 3 or 4 scores on it, so they just have to settle down and try close them spaces on there. But looking on, it's a real open game, Oisin, and the balls going in from Setanta defence are fairly good, so they're going to have to.
And you can't give that forward line that amount of space.
You can't, Oisin, play a sweeper or stop the supply going in, so and they're doing neither at the minute, so Setanta look like scoring goals every time it goes in there.
Yeah, Donoghue with a sideline puck, and that one's going to go out for another wide, so a third wide for Setanta, and Cian Hennessy is going to come again with the puck out. Sent long, goes down the right hand channel. It drops and it falls kindly for Ryan Hulferty. Coming back in field, Hulferty knocks it forward. The target now is a Hearn, but there's too much power on that, and there's 2 Setanta men back there dealing with it, but now they've lost it, and again the scrap is on for it. St Eunans trying to come away with it. Sean McVeigh is it in there that has it, does well to get it away, but the referee Maloney has said he overcarried, and it's going to be a free out to Setanta.
Yeah, I suppose Oisin, Sean had a chance there to get the pick up and maybe get in for a goal chance, but got surrounded there by 3 or 4 Setanta defenders, and good defending there. They turn it over, so look, and it's straight on again with 60 yards of space to Mark Devine. These spaces are going to have to close up, it's too easy for these boys.
And it's Horgan that's on him. Devine turns, and that one is going to be another wide, so a 4th wide. We've played 8 minutes of the first half. It's 1-2 to a single score in favour of Setanta. Flynn and Coulter, 1 from play, 1 from a free. Mark Devine with the goal, while Conor O'Grady with the free for St Eunans are the scores so far this afternoon. It's going to be a sideline puck down the other side to Setanta, and Setanta's going to take this a couple of metres off their own 65.
Michael Donoghue's going to have a go at it.
Yeah, he had a go the last one and he sent it out wide. This one is going to drop in and around the 13. It's bypassed a couple of players. Devine in there again, and Devine's causing a bit of havoc in there, so he is, Mickey.
His runs are great timing on them, you know, but the supply going in's very good, Oisin, and we're really going to have to get more tempo out the field to stop that ball going in. There's an easy point for Declan Coulter again.
Back-to-back scores for Declan Coulter, and it all came about that, again, the defences at Eunans didn't deal with it, Mickey.
Exactly, I know that ball went right through the keeper there, and one wee touch had been the net again. So look, very edgy here in defence, Eunans, you know, and just on the matchups, you've Connor Park trying to tag Declan Coulter here, Brian Mack on Davin, and out the pitch then you've Danny and Sean McVeigh on one another. So look, a lot of matching up going on here, but at the minute Setanta are on top in most positions.
And it's going to drop again around the middle, and the fight is on to get control of possession, and this time it's Cleary that manages to get round Flood, flicks it over the top to Gilmore. Gilmore now has the speed, going as far as the 20 and hooks at that one, and it's another point. So 3 on the bounce now for Setanta as they go 1-4 to a point in front, and really things starting to open up here for Setanta in these last couple of minutes, and they're starting to punish them.
Yeah, so I suppose that's four of the Setanta forwards that scored from play already, you know, and they seem to be on top, and the Eunans defence is really struggling here with them, you know, and they're going to have to get tight.
What can Tom Hennessy do here, Mickey?
Well, I don't know. Burt tried a sweeper against them, which worked well for up to the first quarter, but then they were taking long distance scores. So look, it's a tight one to call, but you have to keep the goals out, you know, and I'd be keeping bodies in there, but just looking in there, the 60 or 70 yards of space in front of Davin and Mark Devine again. So two defenders can't really mark that space, Oisin.
Yeah. This is going to be a sideline again for Conor Kelly of St Eunans, but it goes low, and again Setanta out in front. Danny Cullen, but Cullen's dispossessed, and it spills, and again the scrap is on for it. Setanta looking to control it there on this occasion. Gilmore flicks it forward, goes down the right hand side, but on this occasion the St Eunans defence are able to answer the question, and it's Brendan Horgan gives it over the top, but a big block comes in from Coulter, brave from Coulter. Coulter keeps it in play. He goes to ground. The challenge coming in from Hulford. Coulter's bundled over the line, and it's going to be another sideline puck to Setanta. Already in this game, Mickey, we've seen a couple of big blocks coming in.
Yes, well, Stephen Doherty took far too much time in the ball action, and Declan Coulter are going to punish you and get on top of him and knocked it away. You know, that ball should have gone to 80 yards and taking the pressure off the defence. Instead of that, they're under P again, you know, with a sideline ball in. Yeah,
this is going to be Donoghue, who hasn't scored yet. Tight angle for Donoghue. It's at about 25 out, but it's going low. It's going to come off the leg of Stephen Doherty, and it's that danger man, Mark Devine again. Devine was looking for Coulter, but the accuracy in the pass wasn't there, and now Cormac Finn can come up the middle. Knocks it forward into the path of Kevin Keeley, another of the dual St Eunans players. Keeley launches it, and his target this time is a Hearn, but it's going to go straight to the keeper, who deals with that easily, and back to Richard Key again. Now it's launched forward looking for David Flynn. Flynn reads this one better than McIntyre again, and here comes David Flynn, turns on it, and Flynn has knocked that out to the left and wide, and that would be a 5th wide in this opening half. 12 minutes plays. It stays at a 1-4 to 1 point game, and Setanta certainly the better of the two sides and on top here, as the long puck out comes from the keeper again. Going up this time is Keeley for St Eunans, and St Eunans do well to take control of that. And I see a signal coming from Hulford up top to get O'Grady back to take this free again now.
I suppose Kevin Keeley, Oisin there, you know, he's doing everything right except the finishing article, you know, and drop 2 into the keeper's hands now short, and he's going to have to get his finishing touch on, you know, because he's getting out in front of his man, one possession here, but they need scores here. So
and there is a bit of a breeze here today at the O'Donnell Park, just watching the flags down beside us, and it would be favouring Setanta in this opening half. Here's O'Grady now. He's just got one so far, and Eunans have one. O'Grady from about 68 out,
good
knocks
strike,
it long. Yeah, 2 from 2 for Conor O'Grady. Fine scores as well, and that means that St Eunans now have got 2 on the board, but they're still trailing by those 5 points. And a big score so far, Mark Devine's goal. But St Eunans will have to try and find another gear here, so they will, Mickey.
Yes, and I suppose a quick puck out there to Danny, and that's 80 yards down the pitch again. But Eunans are starting to build a wee bit on it here now. Cormac Finn on attack. So look, if they can get another score, there's only one score on this game.
Yeah. And they had another goal there by McVeigh.
Free in, I think.
And
free in the Eunans.
Setanta haven't heard the whistle, but it is going to be a free in St Eunans, and it's going to be Grady again that's going to come take this, and this could reduce the gap once again to 4, which would keep St Eunans in touch, because a goal would be massive. We've seen how big the goals were in the junior game between Dunloe and Carndonagh earlier today. Carndonagh, of course, going on to win, we told you earlier, first junior title, championship title in 25 years, while Dunloe, of course, stepping up to championship hurling in the very first year, and a huge achievement to get to the final. Here's O'Grady again, looking to make it 3 from 3, but this time it's gone tailing out to the right and wide, so it stays 2 point for St Eunans. Setanta 1-4, and O'Grady's have to going to be better there with his accuracy if St Eunans are going to try and stay toe to toe with Setanta here.
And that's the easiest one I had yet. The other two were 80 yards out, so but good better play from Cormac Finn and Sean McVeigh there, running at Setanta defence, and they are prone to foul, so look, if they can keep that up, they're getting into this game a wee bit better here now.
Yeah, it's blocked down, so it is. Back it comes now to Brendan Turish. Brave from Conor O'Grady, takes a slap of a hurl, and St Eunans now have a bit between their teeth, so they have Kelly, knocks it out to McVeigh, and here goes St Eunans. They got men cheering forward. McVeigh, good for McVeigh, but he just can't control it at the last second. It's going to spill back again to Cormac Finn, and now there's a high challenge on McVeigh. He's won a free outside the D, but you can feel that maybe St Eunans are starting to get things together.
Yes,
so they are, Mickey.
It's a running game, Oshin, running at the Setanta defence, and they're buying frees, but actually that was very good defending by Mark Callahan that time, it stuck with Sean and nearly dispossessed him, and very unlucky then for another Setanta man to foul him, but that's 4 frees in a row there, but
you can see when Sean McVeigh gets possession, he's crowded out very quickly. There's 2 or 3 of them.
Of course, you're playing against St Eunans, you're always going to keep in touch with Sean McVeigh and probably double up on him when possible, but there's other Setanta or Eunans forwards there that has plenty of legs, and Keely and he played this short now.
This short. Here's a chance now for St Eunans. Ahern's coming in, but he's lost control of it, and Setanta are able to come away with Donoghue again, but really St Eunans, they should have maybe went for the point on that occasion. If it worked, we'd be saying something different, but it didn't work for them.
It was straight on the Eunans boys' path, and he should have done better, but looking back, these wee turning points, Eunans just need to keep the scoreboard ticking over, and as you say, there's a bit of a breeze here, Oshin, and if they can stay 4 or 5 points on it within the start of the second half, they've every chance.
Yeah, and we're going to have the water break shortly as well coming up, and we have seen in games how an impact of a water break can be in a fixture, but St Eunans now starting to find a bit of rhythm, sent into the D, but again it's going to be cut out by the Setanta defence. Ahern's in there, big number 6 of course is Danny Cullen. Cullen gets it off to Cleary, and the 6 and 7 linking up and knocking it forward again. Now there's 2 round Davin Flynn, but Flynn somehow is able to get his hurl in there and take control, and from a very very tight angle Davin Flynn is a go, and that's going to be knocked out to the right and wide. There's the whistle for the water break. 16 minutes and 49 seconds played, a 6th wide for Setanta, but the story on the scoreboard is Setanta 1-4, St Eunans 2 points. The 2 solitary points for St Eunans coming from Conor O'Grady, both from frees. O'Grady did have a couple of other frees as well. One went wide, the other one didn't work out, linking up with Matt Ahern, who just couldn't control possession, but that's how the 2 scores of Eunans came about. As for Setanta, they possibly could be further ahead in this game. They have had 6 wides. The goal coming from Mark Devine very early in the second minute, which straight away put St Eunans on the back foot. Gilmore got a point, Coulter got 1 from a free and 1 from play. Davin Flynn getting a score as well. I've made the point that maybe Setanta could be further ahead in this game, Mickey.
Yeah, I suppose Davin there shooting from maybe a wee bit too tight angles and stuff, and maybe use the ball a bit better, but the problem is actually he's getting plenty of possession and out in front, and look, at the end of the day he'll turn up and punish you if you keep that up. But Eunans have settled well in the last 5 minutes, to be fair, and if O'Grady had to point them 2 points over, they've only a score in this game.
Yeah, and obviously we've seen what the water break can do, and we've seen it in the football matches, that how it can change the dynamic of a game. St Eunans were trying to find a bit of rhythm there, so they were. So maybe now in the water break, can they continue that, or was Setanta with the wee breather and the strong will come from the bench going, listen, let's have another go and tear on it here.
Yeah, I suppose if you're Tom Hennessy, you're seeing now if you run at them, they can foul you, so and Eunans have plenty of legs and fitness, so that's probably their strong strength, and they need to start doing it more, actually, and use the ball just a wee bit smarter, where Setanta and Danny and them out of the half back line are delivering good 70-yard passes, and so 2 different strategies here, So
we're going to get action back underway again as Tom Maloney calls all the players back to their position, and I think it's going to be a puck out. Is it at
the wide down here?
Yeah,
Eunans puck out.
The Eunans puck out. It's going to come from the keeper, Cian Hennessy, once again, and away we go. After the water break, action continues. Setanta 1-4. St Eunans 2 points. We're live on Highland Saturday Sport in association with Gal Oil, fuel you can trust, at Clonybridge in Castlefin. Pass hasn't found the intended direction going forward. Neither is the one from St Eunans. It's picked up by Rowan. And now to the midfielder, Richard Key. Key now knocks it back infield. The battle is on between Gilmore and Flood. Gilmore has it. Thought about knocking it long. Back he goes to Cleary. Cleary now sends it forward into the D. Again, out comes Mark Devine. Devine has support here. Another chance for Coulter to get a third in the game. And Coulter's effort goes out to the right and wide, but Coulter is calling for a score. The referee, the official, the man in charge, says it was wide. 7 wides for Setanta. It stays at a 5-point game.
Yeah, luck wide from here, Oisin. Just curled off the post, but Mark Devine out in front of his man again, one clear possession, slipping it off to Declan. So nice move, just unlucky not to get a score out of it.
And from the resulting puck out, it is St Eunans that have it again with McVeigh. McVeigh just knocks it off to Hulferty. St Eunans have knocked it long now. Who's going to deal with this the better? The bounce off the sliotar has fallen kindly for Setanta. Now it's going to come off the shin of Rowan, who just knocks it back. And Setanta need to be careful here because St Eunans are on the hunt. Setanta clear the danger up the right hand side into the Eunans half it goes. Lovely wee flick in there by McGee to give it off to Coulter, but a hefty challenge from Connor Park, and it's going to be a free for Setanta. The referee's just going to have a word with Park, but some nice skillful hurling going on there.
Yeah, lovely touch by Declan and invited to tackle on Connor Park, and it's a free on all day long, Oisin. But just looking around the pitch now, Setanta's a lot of free men in defence here, 1 or 2, and Eunans are tightening the ship a wee bit up in defence. So just hope it's not too late for them, because maybe they should have set up a wee bit like that at the start.
19 minutes on the clock. Here comes Coulter looking for another score, and that one's dropped over the crossbar. 2 from frees for Coulter, 1 from play. He's got 3 so far, and it's now a 1-5 to 2-point game here at the O'Donnell Park, and the gap is starting to open again, Mickey McCann.
Yes, Setanta come out after water break. Good start for them again, so Eunans just need to try to keep the scoreboard ticking over here, Oisin, maybe, and try to get a goal. But Setanta seem to have a lot of bodies back here. Just looking up here now, you've Danny free and the wing back free, so I just can't see how Eunans going to get scores with that too,
Yeah. So the playline puck goes back into play. Cleary is going to cut it out, battling with Kevin Keeley. Keeley does well. Just knocks it on now to Hulferty. Hulferty a bit of room, crosses inside the 45, but the effort's going to go straight into the keeper of Kieran Bellew, and Bellew under P from Ahern manages to get it away. But it's picked up by Doherty, the centre half-back for St Eunans. He's going to have a go now from 40 out. It's going to drop in and around the house, and again in front of the Setanta keeper, but Bellew with one hand takes a grasp off it and is able to avert the danger. Back it goes to Cleary. Good defensive work by Setanta. Again knocked well into the Eunans half, and on this occasion it's Eddie Gaffney, the fullback, but it's given away by Gaffney. It goes straight to Gilmore. Gilmore looks up, and Gilmore is going to knock that one over the bar, and Gilmore gets a score here for Setanta. 1-6 now to 2, and when you make a mistake like that and you present it on a plate to Gilmore, he's going to punish you, Mickey.
Yeah, and well read by Eddie Gaffney first, but then just straight onto Jared Gilmore's hand, who's very accurate from play, and straight over the black spot. And at the other end you had Ryan Hulferty again knocking it onto the Setanta goalkeeper's hand, so that's 4 or 5 that drop short. Setanta needs, or Eunans need to get every score chance, take every scoring chance to get, and they're not doing that at the minute, and this game's starting to drift away.
It's going to be a sideline puck to come from Coulter. Coulter's just going to knock that one back once again. Showing the dummy is Danny Cullen. Cullen knocks it high and as far as the D. It's going to be plucked out of the air as it's going to fall to Flynn again, and Flynn turns and on the left side knocks it over the bar again, and that's another one for Davin Flynn, and it's another one from play, and it goes to 1-7 to 2. 3 unanswered scores from the holders, and it's making a difference on the scoreboard.
Yes, I actually a quick sideline there back to Danny, quick thinking. One shot on the dab and front over the bar. So Setanta moving the ball far sharper and quicker and supplying a bit of quality ball on the forward line,
So again, it's going to be a free to St. Eunans, just in the edge of their own half, and Stephen Doherty's going to take this. And walking out O'Grady and O'Hearn have been crowded out there and up at the top end of the pitch by Setanta backs, and you can see there one of them, Danny Cullen, was able to read that brilliantly. Now it's going to come back to Connor Park, who's in with a challenge, and Setanta hook it away again, straight to St. Eunans Doherty. Doherty flicks it on, now with a bit of room. There goes Cormac Finn. Finn now out to the right to McVeigh. McVeigh's going to have to come back as far as Hulferty. Hulferty turns at it and Hulferty knocks it high.
Great score.
And Hulferty's drops over the bar, and that's a good score by Ryan Hulferty, and it's a third point of the game for St. Eunans, and it's their first from play, and a good one from Ryan Hulferty.
Yeah, Cormac Finn again running at them, and drawing men in, and they got slipped to the back door to Ryan Hulferty, and a great strike after Ryan dropping one short before that, but Josh Connolly here straight through again.
And it's going to come off the upright. Let off for St. Eunans as it fell into Flood. Flood straight away. Just wanted to clear it. And here comes Gilmore now, coming down that left-hand side. Two St. Eunans players trying to keep up with Gilmore. Gilmore on the 13, slides to his knees, and that one's going to go over the bar. And a well-taken score by Gilmore under pressure, and he knocked it over the bar, and it's 1-8 now to 3, and it's back to an 8-point advantage, and it's Gilmore who's got a couple now in the last few moments for Setanta, and we have played 23 minutes, so 7 to go plus whatever additional time is going to be played, as Setanta again knock it forward. It's position just on shy of the 45, and it's Gilmore again. Gilmore back-to-back scores. Gilmore's finding form here. They're starting to punish St. Eunans 1-9 to 3, and that gap is getting bigger again, Mickey McCann.
Yes, and showing great legs in the first score there, actually pace, and Cormac Finn trying to catch him, who's very quick himself, but Jared just tapping it over the bar, and then Eunans hitting it straight down to Danny Cullen, who had a great pass to Jared Gilmore over the top, and tapping him. The quality of ball going on here to the forward line, was great from Setanta, and Eunans' defence are really, really struggling here, Oshin. Yeah. Really struggling.
And here's Mark Devine, the scorer of the goal for Setanta. Another high ball in from Danny Cullen, and Setanta coming back with possession again, and they're going to knock it now to Richard Key, and Key's going to have a go now. Key wants to get in on the act, but Key's effort is going to go out to the right and wide, and that would be an 8th wide of the game for Setanta. It stays at 1-9 to 3. Setanta well in front here against St. Eunans. We've hit the 25-minute mark, so we have, and it's 5 to go to the break. St. Eunans will have to find something different here in this 2020 Donegal Senior Hurling Championship final. Setanta just seem to be winning everything at the moment. It's knocked forward again down the right hand side. McIntyre and Flynn. Flynn has switched flanks, so he has. Sends it back to Key. Key is going to have a go again. But Key's effort's going to go out wide, is it? Well, me and Mickey thought it was wide. The white flag is raised. A second attempt from Richard Key means it's 1-10 to Setanta, 3 points to St. Eunans, and it's another score for the defending champions as they ease out here now by 10 points. And they'll be looking to add on more here and give themselves a really, really good cushion at the break, the way things are going, Mickey.
Yeah, look wide from here, Oisin, but the umpire obviously the better view from us. But the sun's in his eyes there, look really wide. Look, Setanta really on top here, Oisin, doing all the hurling. And Eunans, look, the spaces out here, it's nearly like a challenge game, Oisin. There's far too much room, and that just suits Setanta to the bone,
Jersey pulled there, and Cormac Finn, who was lucky that the referee wasn't given back the other way because he sort of landed with the arm after it, but
could have been through in very handy.
Yeah, but it's going to be a free to St. Eunans, which O'Grady will take again. When he scored 3 points, 2 of them have come from O'Grady from frees, and he's looking to reduce this deficit to 9. But really, St. Eunans on the back foot big time here in this senior county final. And O'Grady knocks that one high, and no problems again for Conor O'Grady. So 4 points for St. Eunans, 3 for O'Grady, but other than the frees, and Ryan Holford is excellent score. There hasn't really been anything up top from St Eunans, Mikey.
No threat, and Setanta sweeping up everything nice in there, and they seem to have a spare man. Danny's lying spare here all the time, and that's the one man you don't want spare. There's a good chance from Conor O'Grady.
Yeah, O'Grady's
good score.
Brilliant score from Conor O'Grady, but 50 out down the right hand side. Again, possession, just turned on it and hooked at it high, and back-to-back scores for Conor O'Grady, and maybe St Eunans now can finish out the half better and bring down the deficit. So it's back to 8 points.
Yeah, and maybe Conor O'Grady might be safer coming out the pitch, because there's no quality ball going in and getting on them from 50 yards out, because a good strike on him.
Yeah, well, he's not listening to you, Mickey, because he's away straight and up top again, so he is. Cormac Finn now has it, knocks up as far as the 45, getting a hurl on it's Kevin Healy. But again, Rowan is there just to sweep it up. Setanta's defence has been very, very good, and it's been led by this man, Danny Cullen. Cullen knocks it up forward again, down the right-hand channel. Looking for Flynn. Back it comes now to Lafferty. Lafferty having a go. Lafferty's going to drop over the bar, and Bernard Lafferty's got another score for Setanta. 111 for Setanta, 5 to St Eunans. And just as St Eunans are maybe starting to find a wee bit of momentum for about 90 seconds or so, Setanta are able to do that with quality from Lafferty.
The use of the ball, Setanta is excellent. Actually, Danny Cullen, quick pass on to Davin, and then he backdoor to Barney and straight over the bar. So look, they're finding their man high, and you have to say that Setanta really switched on here.
We've got 2 minutes plus whatever additional time's going to be played at the end of the half, as McIntyre gives it off now to Finn. Finn struggles to keep possession as Danny Cullen comes upfield. Danny Cullen wants a score today as well, but it's going to drop off over the bar. Hit the hurl, so it did off the keeper Hennessy, but Danny Cullen has answered the back-to-back scores by St Eunans. Lafferty and Cullen now make it 112 to 5 points, and we have played 28 minutes, and it's back to a 10-point game as we enter the closing stages of the opening half. So 1 minute of additional time, so we've got about 2.5 left to go, including that minute. It's knocked down the right hand side again. The cornerback Mark Callan's able to pick it up ahead of Ahern, flicked out to the left, and Rowan knocks away up the field again. This time Coulter is the target. Coulter goes and battles it out with Park, and the sliotar falls and breaks, but it's St Eunans again that are trying to come away with it and get control of it, but they've got their hands full with Setanta's Josh McGee, and Josh McGee in the end can't control it, and St Eunans come away with it. Flood turns, knocks it high. Wide. Wasted by St Eunans, wasted by Flood. I don't know if he was looking for O'Grady on that occasion or having a go himself, but it stays at a 10-point game, and we are into the closing stages of the half.
Yeah, I suppose actually just looking there, McDonough's starting to tag Sean McVeigh there now, and Danny's sort of lying free around. So look, if they need to push up on Danny here big time, and number 5 seem to be free. Eunans just seem to have no bodies up the pitch now at all, and it was too late after you give 5 or 6 points down to do that, so they're going to have to try go at this game and try get scores,
Yeah, Setanta coming again and breaking through, and they've won a free as well, and it's going to be about 55 out as we enter the 1 additional minute at the end of the half. 112 to 5 points, and this is going to be another Coulter free to add to his total here in this decider, and it would extend Setanta's advantage. We knew that Setanta would be hot favourites for this, and they've really shown their class as defending champions in the opening half. And there's the class of Coulter again from about 55 out. It goes over the bar, and it's 113 to 5 points here at half time. Coulter with another score, and that would bring Coulter's tally to 4 in this first half. But Setanta well in control, and as things stand at the break, well in course for a 16th title. So 113 is 16, 5 points for St Eunans. It's an 11-point game, and as we said through the first half, Setanta showing the quality as defending champions, Mickey, and their big players are stepping up to the plate. St Eunans have struggled to keep pace with them as well. They deserve the advantage at half time, and to be honest, they could have been further ahead at the break.
I suppose the quality of ball going on, actually, the forwards are good, but any forward depends on quality ball getting in, and it's gone in there. You know, when Setanta had four of their 6 forwards scored in the first 6 or 7 minutes, set their intent, and you really, you know, and then Eunans maybe got more defensive set up, but too late now when Setanta's just sweeping everything up in defence here. So look, there's just not enough intensity. It's not like a final. Actually, there hasn't been enough physicality and intense and tackling and hooking and blocking.
Yeah, you'll be disappointed with it, so
disappointing match so far, and Setanta's been really good, really good, and used to the ball. You have to hand it to them, but as a Eunans just didn't bring enough in that first half. It's a county final, whether you're underdogs or not. Actually, you've got to step up, set the bar, you know, and set your intent that you're going to fight all the way. But look, Eunans or Setanta will be very happy, and look, they're deserving with their 11-point lead.
Okay then, thanks very much indeed. That's Mikey McCann, Donegal senior hurling manager, on co-commentary on Highland Saturday Sport for this 2020 Donegal senior hurling final, and the defending champions are leading here at the break comfortably by 11 points, 113-5 as the half-time scores. We return to the studio. We will of course be back with live second half coverage for you here in Highland Saturday Sport real soon. But let's get some reaction now to that first half here on Donegal GAA TV, and Kieran O'Donnell for the streaming service is in the stand, and he's speaking to a Setanta man, Peter Campbell. Kieran.
Hi Sachin, I'm joined by Eamon Campbell. Eamon, 11 points to good at half time. Setanta's bound to be happy.
No, I'd say they're very happy. They did a great start. The inclusion of Mark Devine in the team, I think, had a huge bearing on. Mark got a lovely goal there in the first few minutes. Settled the Setanta team. And Setanta didn't let St. Eunans settle at all. They could have 2 scores there. There was a free that they missed, and there's another free that tried to work a goal out. I think they're panicking a wee bit. They just didn't get settling into the game. They're a young team, maybe lacking the experience of the St. Eunans teams of the past, but I think it's long past them now. 2 inside forwards there, the likes of Davin Flynn, Mark Devine. They don't need a roadmap to show where the goals is. They'll get goals.
Yeah. Setanta have seven different scores on the score sheet, so they're having quality scores from different parts of the field too.
Different parts of the field. Jerry Gilma there, he got 3 lovely points. Richie Keefe in the middle of the field, again he scored a point as well. So it's just a matter of what the score is going to be at the end.
Okay, Eamon, thanks for your views.
Thank you very much.
Okay, many thanks to Kieran O'Donnell. The view from the Setanta camp. Let's get the view from the St. Eunans camp as well. Kieran.
And joined by Paddy Flood from St. Eunans. Paddy, 11 points down, work to do.
Yeah, look, it hasn't happened for us at all. As Eamon said, we didn't settle into the game. We had small patches where we showed a bit of hurling, but to be honest with you, we're just not performing, and it's pretty obvious to everybody. Look, we have a chance. We've got to get going in the second half. If we don't get going early at this game's going to be gone. But it's still all there to play for us as far as we're concerned. It has to go 1 point at a time, and we just have to go at them and play our game, bring our game. It's we just haven't played, and Eamon's saying there that we're not experienced. Well, this is our third final in 4 years. That's experience, and this is the first time that we played that we haven't fronted up so far, and look, we just have to be men about this, and guys have to deliver championship performance in the next 15 minutes or else this is gone.
Yeah. The quality of ball onto the Setanta full forward line is causing students big problems.
It is. Our biggest problem is further out the field, really, that we can't we're just not winning enough ball, and we have to rearrange things, and it's made, unfortunately, it's just too easy for them to pick out their men, and that's the word I would use. It's been easy.
Okay.
It's been easy for Setanta, and if this continues, we're going to be in trouble.
Okay, Paddy, thanks for your views.
Thanks very much.
Thanks indeed to Paddy Flood and to Kieran O'Donnell. So we're going to take a break here at half time in this Donegal Senior Hurling Championship final at half time. It is Setanta 113, St. Eunans 5 points, and you can join us for more action on Donegal GAA TV coming up shortly.
Here, amidst the leafy splendour of suburbia, we're on the trail of an amazing example of natural evolution. Ecodanium hetus pompi, commonly known as the Ecodan heat pump. Ah, there's one now. Perfectly adapted to Irish conditions, it cleverly converts renewable energy from the air to heat both home and water, while emitting up to 50% less carbon compared to fossil-fueled heating systems. So homeowners are happy, and so too is our planet.
Hey, you get out of my garden!
Homo sapien auratus. Best be going.
The Ecodan heat pump from Mitsubishi Electric, the natural evolution of home heating.
I think Trevor Maloney from Buncrana is having an extended tea break, so he has downstairs, but I'm sure he'll be with us shortly. Listen, Mickey, we said it before half time, before we took our break there, that Setanta very much deserving of their lead at half time. But now the major question is going to be asked of St Eunans. Obviously, a lot more experience in Setanta. The fact that Eunans maybe don't have as much experience. Is there any way to come out of this letter, Kenny said, that they can close down this gap?
Austin, they have to bring far more than they did in the first half. The intensity levels are really poor, and the Setanta had all the play. The danger is now, Oisín, you're pushing on to try to get scores, and that obviously going to leave more area for the Setanta forward lines to work up front, So Eunans, just if they're going to go for this game, they're going to have to push out, and that's going to leave Davin Flynn and Mark Devine inside, and Jared Gilmore with a lot of space, and they're going to get scores too. So look, Eunans have a mountain to climb here, Oisín.
Yeah, they certainly have. The likes of Davin Flynn's got 2 points in this game. Jerry Gilmore's got 4. Coulter's got 4 as well. Danny Cullen's got 1. Lafferty has got 1. I'm just going through the scores of the first half. Richard Key as well got in the score sheet with a point. And we can't forget about the man that got the goal, Mark Devine. He got 2 goals in the final last year. Mark Devine already with the goal in the opening half for Setanta. Conor O'Grady has scored 4 of the 5 points for St Eunans, and if St Eunans are going to get back into this, they will of course need more of that forward line up there getting involved. For the second half, St Eunans will play from left to right, and they'll be assisted by the breeze in the second half as Trevor Maloney, well, he's just telling the guys to
Eugene Organ in there, Oisín, and full forward now for Eunans, so there's a good hand on him. So maybe with this one, they're just going to go route one,
Yep, the experienced Eugene Organ in for St Eunans, but it's Davin Flynn down this left side. He got the opening score of the first half, and guess what? He was quicker in the second half. He's got the opening score of the second half. Davin Flynn now with 3 points in this game, but St Eunans conceding very, very early in the half, Mickey.
Same thing, Oisín. No, smart ball out of defence from Niall Cleary and Davin's path, and Davin's got 2 good sides. Just first touch over the bar, and the delivery in there has been great, and the touch on side man has been quality. So look, a good score for Eunans there.
Yeah, they've responded straight away. We've only got 40 seconds here on the clock, and we've already had 2 points. And the score of that point for St Eunans, Mickey?
I think it was Kevin Keeley.
So first of the game for Keeley. First of the game for Kevin Keeley, and that's what St Eunans want. They want the rest of that forward line getting on the score sheet for them if they're going to close out this gap. So it's 114 to 6 points. It's still an 11-point game. Flicked then forward. The challenge comes in from a Hearn on Mark Callahan, but Setanta get it away. And already it's knocked way up the field, and that one is going to drop out to the left and wide, and that would be, my calculation, a 10th wide off the half off the game rather for Setanta. It stays 114 to 6.
Yes, I suppose Bernard laughed there again. Mountains of time to lift that ball, and he's unlucky not to score, but it's just too much time, and that forward line's going to punish you all day long. I think if they keep giving this space and time, they're going to have to get touch tight, and ask questions of the Setanta forward line, but as the game goes too far, there's far too much space on there.
And it's going to be a free on this occasion to St Eunans, which will be taken in the middle of the park, and again it's Conor O'Grady that's going to come and take this one for the Cathedral Town, knocking it into the River Swilly end of the ground for the second half. As we look at stand and watch O'Grady, we've already seen him score from this position, head in the other direction. He's looking to follow suit here with another one.
Yeah,
O'Grady knocks it high,
good.
and O'Grady has got the white flag raised again, and that would be 5 points for O'Grady, and all coming from place balls. And a 7 now for St Eunans, and the advantage of Setanta has been reduced to 10 points. The chase is on to keep the ball in play, but it's going to be a sideline puck that's going to go the way of Setanta. We're playing into the clubhouse end of the ground in this latter half.
Yeah, good block there by Conor O'Grady. Actually, Setanta trying to move it out short, and Conor getting a bit of squeeze on there, and unlucky that the sideline went out Setanta's favour.
It's going to be taken by Niall Cleary. Cleary, another of the experienced players in Setanta. These boys, of course, in the last couple of years have been through various challenges in their own county in Ulster, and then in the All-Ireland series as well. McVeigh now out around the middle, knocks it on as far as the 45, but Mark Callahan reads this one better, and again Callahan sprinting away from Ahern, but Ahern gets the challenge, and Callahan soccer style kicks it away. It falls to Lafferty now. Lafferty is going to knock it on as far as the edge of the D. Eunans get a hurl on it, the break is there. It's Horgan that sweeps it up, and Flood comes away with it. Flood sends it back in field. And St Eunans try to clear the danger. Goes back to the fullback, Katie Gaffney. Launches it up the field. But now it's going to be a free to St Eunans. Winning the free on this occasion was Kevin Keeley, after the hefty challenge coming in from Richard Key, the Setanta midfielder. But it's again O'Grady that's going to take this one. And the way things have been panning out, you would expect O'Grady to knock this one over and bring it back to 9.
Kevin Keeley getting up there onto the puck out again, one he's free in now, but Kevin's going to have to keep showing all the time, watching for these puck outs now, and a great hand on him, And we expect Conor to put this on over the bar again.
So we've got 4 minutes on the clock. Launched forward again. O'Grady's effort this time is going to go out to the right and wide. There'll be 5 wides is for Eunans. So it is in this game. It's a wide ball. The Eunans really need to try and keep that scoreboard ticking over if they're going to stay in the hunt somehow in this game. But it's going to be a very, very tall order in the second half. They continue to trail by 10 here at the O'Donnell Park.
Great catch by Danny Cullen in the middle park.
Straight away knocks it up, flicks it up forward, and Flynn is out ahead of McIntyre again. But McIntyre is a feisty wee player. He does well to look to try and bring it back out of the St Eunan's defence, and somehow manages to get away, but Finn can't control it. And Setanta get a foot in there. The challenge by McVeigh and Cullen. The county mates go together. McVeigh comes off the better on this occasion. McVeigh on the edge of the 45. Sends it high, but it's going to go out wide again. Another wide for St Eunans after doing all the hard donkey work, but the end result, the end product just wasn't there on that occasion.
Yeah, great work by Sean, to turn that over, Oisin, and you need that from everybody to set the tempo all around the pitch, and I was unlucky not to get a score to that.
So sent forward again. It's picked up by Gilmore. Gilmore's intended pass is not there. St Eunan's number 10's Hulferty. Hulferty launches it forward. What a score by Hulferty. That's 2 now in this game. And Ryan Hulferty with a cracker makes it 8 points for St Eunan's. And Hulferty is 2 from 2 with his shots on target. And impressive score again from Hulferty.
That's 2 good strikes from his own 65 there, And there is a good wee breeze here if Eunans can let the ball in. Maybe Eugene Organ's been on there now and not a ball in around the square, So maybe just try to get in there. They're going to need goals to get back into this game, and it's free on again.
Yeah, St Eunan's winning the battles at the moment, so they're getting the bit between their teeth, St Eunan's, in and around the middle, and this free again is going to be taken by Conor O'Grady, who's going to make his way over, and he'll be looking to add to his tally. O'Grady, he currently has 5. The last 3 scores all coming from St Eunan's.
Yeah,
you're having a bit of a purple patch here, Mickey. So
this is well scoreable for Conor's range. Ryan Hulferty scored from maybe 20 yards further out there. So expect Conor to have the legs in this anyway.
Yeah. So here comes O'Grady again. 7 minutes into the second half. O'Grady with a long distance effort again. O'Grady's effort.
Yeah, good strike, good strike.
Conor O'Grady's finding the accuracy from distance. It's funny, the closer he's in, he's missed a couple, and the further he's out, he seems to be better at them.
Could look easy from distance, is right, but he missed a few shorter ones. A good catch again by Danny. Will puck out.
Yeah, Danny Cullen playing out round the middle now, flicks it out to Cleary. Cleary turns, sends it forward and more infield, and they get a hurl to it. It's picked up by Devine. Here's the chance of another goal for Setanta, and it's into the back of the net, and it's Josh McGee that has scored this goal, and it was easy for Setanta on that occasion, and their big players all linking up. It went from Cullen to Cleary, and it went in as far as Devine, and Devine was able to find McGee, and just as St Eunans were getting a bit of momentum, the defending champions step up with a second goal.
Great move, Oisin, a great catch from Danny from the pocket, moved it on to Cleary, who crossfield ball, to Devine, who slapped Josh on the run, off the shoulder. And look, great finish, great goal.
Bit of a sucker punch for Eunans,
yeah,
Mickey.
Just when they were settling down, Oisin, and they're going here again with Davin Flynn.
Yeah, Davin Flynn's going to go
over the
bar. And that's what it is to be as champions, Mickey. You're able to find that wee extra gear, and that's when it's needed.
Exactly. I know. Look, there's a lot of quality and a lot of accurate forwards here, and they've just been on strong today, 3 or 4 of them. So look, Eunans it's always going to be tough if 3 or 4 of them forwards turn up. A big hit from Colin Flood there and Danny.
Yeah. And still on the ground, the referee is now blown for a free, which it's going to be to St Eunans, and Danny Cullen getting caught in possession, and the referee could have blown for a free out given the level impact Flood had on it, but they let it play away, and it's going to be O'Grady again who is going to just set this on the edge of the 45. We're directly behind him here, we can see the angle that he's at, and this is well scoreable for O'Grady, who just knocks
straight over.
Straight over the black spot. Point number 10 for St Eunans, 7 for O'Grady, but there's a big gap, so there is 11 points. It's 2-15 to 10.
Yeah, still 11 points, Oisin, from half time. With Eunans getting a good start, and then just within 30 seconds here, Setanta turned up with a goal and a point. Just to put things back to 11 points. So Setanta will be happy enough to see this game out at 11-10 points.
Yeah, here's O'Grady now. He wants one from play. He turns at it, and O'Grady's effort from just inside that 65 going out wide, and it'll be, what's that, 7 wides, is it now for St Eunans?
That's probably the difference, Oisin, there. We Conor maybe should have just been using that ball into the full forward line and hoping that maybe try to get a goal chance out of it, where Setanta at the other end, the forwards are linking up and moving the ball 20-30 yards through the lines and getting their forwards on play.
Second substitute in the game, Eugene Organ, of course, was in for the second half. Now we see Conor McVeigh coming in, and he's taking the place of the number 15, Matt Ahern. So another change made by Tom Hennessy. Interesting to note, no changes made as yet in this tie by Setanta. Again, it's launched forward, but Cleary is able to get a hurled it and bring it down. Knocks it up the left hand side as they fight and battle for it. St Eunans have it, and it was Halvey that managed to get it away and into Park. Park launches it forward again. St Eunans are going to pick up the break this time with McVeigh, and he's surrounded by Setanta players, and they managed to dispossess him. And Coulter is coming away, or Cullen rather is coming away with it. Coming up the park, it's neither. It's the number 9, Donahue, who sprints up the field. He's covered about 2/3 of the pitch. Flicked in forward to Flynn. Is the angle too tight for Flynn? He's going to have a go here, Davin Flynn again. That one's over the bar. Davin Flynn gets his 5th point of the match as it goes to 2-16 to 10 points.
Yeah, really on strong here. I should know both sides and all angles. Look, the forwards delight to watch that there, and the quality ball going into him, so he's going to be hard to stop if they keep getting that ball on them, We're just watching another end there, Mark Callahan and Sean McVeigh were. Sean McVeigh was lucky maybe not to get booked.
Yeah, okay, so it's with Setanta at the minute, and back it goes into Declan Coulter once again. As they knock it forward, down into the Eunans half. Brian McIntyre all on his own. McIntyre's going to send it up the other direction. Well, he just knocks it forward into Hulferty. Hulferty takes it. Is there enough room for Hulferty to have another go? He wants 3 points here, Ryan Hulferty. It goes down the right hand side. The accuracy is not there on this occasion, and back it comes to Cleary. Cleary looks up, sends it infield to Coulter. Coulter playing as a wing back. Knocks it right up the field, but it's going to go out for a sideline puck for St. Eunans. Highland Radio's coverage on Saturday Sport in association with Gal Oil. Fuel you can trust at Claddybridge in Castlefin. We welcome them back on board in Highland to bring you coverage of this hurling final. And the men from the Cross are leading comfortably here, 2-16 to 10 points. It's a 12-point game, and we've played 12 minutes of the second half. And really, since the outset of this tie, it has all been Setanta. And they come again. And as far as the 21, McGee trying to control it. Back it goes to Flynn, and Flynn knocks it over the bar. And Flynn has now got himself 6 points in this game as it goes to 2-17. The last 3 scores all coming from Davin Flynn, Mickey.
Yeah, and look, joy to watch that striking and quality up front there, Oisín. And I suppose them last 3 or 4 scores and that last goal, really, you could see maybe drain the life out of Eunans, you know. And look, Setanta's going to see this game out easy, Oisín, by the looks of things, you know. Yeah,
it goes up forward once again, and the break is picked up by Setanta on their full back in there, who is Martin Boner. And Setanta looking to clear the danger.
Free out.
Free out to Setanta. Shannon Hurls are sponsoring the coverage on the Donegal GAA streaming service for this hurling final, and also, of course, will be supporting and sponsoring the man of the match, which will be picked in before the end of this tie. And it looks like at this stage it's going to be a Setanta man, that is for sure. And Setanta cruising along at the moment. They have a big 13-point advantage here. St. Eunans battle away and try and get control of it, and Brian McIntyre's the man. McIntyre launches it forward. He's won a free as well, so he has maybe the referee, given the way the game's going, could have played advantage there.
Yeah.
Trevor Maloney, because St. Eunans badly need a couple of scores. 9 points was the difference in the end last year, Mickey.
Yeah.
The gap as things stand is a lot bigger at the moment, so it is.
Setanta's been the superior team.
Is it an indication of where the Donegal sort of hurling is at the moment, and the way the championship is going?
Well, Setanta are very, very strong, actually, you know, and they've added a lot of new additions over the last 3 or 4 years, you know, and they've moved on from all other clubs, and you know, and they're by far the best team in the county. But in saying that, Eunans have been very disappointing, actually. Yeah. They just didn't bring, whether the other team's more quality or not, you still can match them level, your work rate and your intensity, and bring all that to the forward to see where it takes you. And to be honest, Eunans haven't done it. Sean McVeigh in spells, and he's getting crowded out, you know, and Conor Grady from
so
frees.
Maybe the fact that St. Eunans don't have the same sort of number of players at a certain level as what Setanta would have. Would that be a fair enough point?
Fair point. You know, and these are quality players. They're all up in the county panel with us. You know, nine of these Setanta lads. And look, they're all quality players, and probably on a given day, actually, they 5 boys that you're starting 6 forwards on the county team, you know, and they're well able to compete with the likes of Armagh and all. Never mind St. Eunans. So, look, Setanta definitely on paper are very, very strong, and they're showing it. But in saying that, Eunans have been very poor, and Setanta, the use of the ball and the quality up front, and they've been very, very solid performance.
Yeah. No provincial competition, of course, this year as well, Mickey, which obviously in the circumstances we understand, but it is disappointing that as a county champion you can't go into the province. Setanta, obviously, looking at them, they've a lot of work done, so they have in the limited time that they've had this year, due to COVID, and they've kept themselves in impressive shape, so they have.
They're in good shape, and I'm delighted to see it, to be honest, because we're back on Tuesday night, and you know, there's 1 or 2 boys that we've rely on that maybe fallen behind a wee bit, but the majority of lads through the lockdown and through the club season have kept themselves in good shape, which is a plus for us.
Has that been a big worry for you?
Probably, aye. You know, you just don't know what you're coming back to, but looking at it, you know, a lot of boys are in as good a shape. We were in a good place at March after beating Armagh with a lot of positives work forward way, and we didn't even get back together after the league final. So look, we'll be happy from what we're seeing in the club games from the semi-finals on, and I think we're in good enough stead to start training off again on a high, you know, and move on to Longford in a couple of weeks' time.
Of course, Donegal starting their Nicky Rackard campaign against Longford, as Mickey said, in a few weeks' time. These guys that are all playing out here today, by the way, there's a few from the Dunlow and the Carndonagh setup you said earlier, Mickey. Who are the 3 guys?
You've Oran McGonigal, and you've Thomas Hartnett, and then you've Padraig Doherty, Chucky, who starts in the county team, you know, and you have young Hart Thomas's brother was on the panel, you know. So we've 3 or 4 involved in the junior too, which is great, you know. And looking at them today, there's probably another couple of boys that deserves a go at it, you know, and trying maybe pre-season was it. So look, out of the 2 matches, like the junior was more entertaining and tighter, like. So it's just you don't like to see a one-sided final here, but Setanta by far the superior team, and I just think Eunans' heads are dropped after them last few scores, actually.
We're starting the second quarter here, so we are, and the final quarter of the match, the closing 15 minutes. Setanta are leading 217 to 10 points. That is a 13-point advantage, as St Eunans won the battle on this occasion with Kevin Keeley. Keeley just got 1 score so far for Eunans. Wants another Keeley. Keeley hits it long, but a wide ball for St Eunans, and that's sort of just the story of their day, Mickey. The end product would, like, they've battled hard, so they have, but the end product just hasn't been there.
And that's where the quality of the Setanta forwards make the difference, you know, and you just make the right decisions. Where Eunans need goals here now, they should be moving this ball into the full forward line and trying to get a couple of 3-pointers, but you know they're still naive and shooting in points and Jared Gilmore going to a big run here again.
Yeah, but there's enough amber shots there, but they've given away a free on the edge of the D, and Coulter will take this one, and we haven't seen Coulter, of course. Or is it going to be Devine, is it?
The Coulter.
And we've dropped it. Yeah, Coulter's there, sorry. Coulter's just going to take this one. We haven't seen him score in the second half yet. Coulter. What did he score in the first half? 4 points. He ended up last year with a goal and 2. So he was, and of course he was injured for most of the campaign and came back for the final and played his part, and he's looking for a 5th score now. Declan Coulter, dead straight in front of the post in the clubhouse end of the ground, knocks it high. That one goes between the sticks, and it is a 18th point off the game for Setanta. 2-18 to 10 points. It's now a 14-point game. Coulter brings his total to 5.
Yeah, actually another good score. And Jared Gilmore has been, when he runs at the units forward, a great pace and draw another free out of it, you know, and they're making it look so simple up front here today, and the 2-18 scored already. Actually, we're still 10. Kevin Keeley with a goal.
Kevin Keeley with a chance here. Is the goal on? Just weak on the effort.
Yeah, he got it.
Well, Donoghue won't be happy with that. He thought he had his hands on it, but Kevin Keeley managed to get a hurl on it or a hand on it or something on it, and it went into the back of the net, and it's a goal for St Eunans, which now makes it 110. So that's 13, but of course they are still trailing 2-18. Setanta have on the board, and there's going to be a change coming from Setanta as well.
Yeah, a good goal by Kevin. Suppose he went straight to the middle there, rushing, and he must hit the original strike, and Michael Donoghue took a bad touch, and Kevin batted tennis style on under the net. So look, it's a good score and good goal.
So it's a 24-13 game. St Eunans out battling to try and, is there another goal in them to make this thing exciting on the closing 10 minutes? But what we've seen on several occasions during this game, that when St Eunans did get a bit of momentum, the quality of Setanta was able to come through and hit them with a few unanswered scores, which sort of put them to bed again. But Davin Flynn up in that top pocket, battling away. And it's going to be a free out, is it, to St Eunans possibly? Just watching Trevor Maloney, the referee, what he's going to do. We're about to enter the closing 10 minutes of the tie. 2-18 to 110. Donegal senior hurling manager Mickey McCann, co-commentary for the senior decider on Highland Saturday Sports. Our coverage in association with Gal Oil, Fuel You Can Trust at Claddybridge in Castlefin. Brian McIntyre was trying to clear it.
Sideline to Setanta.
Yeah, it's going to be a sideline to Setanta, which is going to give them another opportunity to get another score.
He's changed his mind.
Yeah, I thought that came off the hurl of Lafferty on that occasion. One thing about it, Mickey, when you're here in the O'Donnell Park and there's no spectators, there's just those that are involved with the club and those involved with the panel, you can hear a lot more on the pitch.
You can hear everything else. I suppose it's not right when you're closing the final that you can't come, you know, and support them and see them, whatever team wins it, lift the cup, you know. But I'm sure the way things look, Killy or Setanta will be taking it back across, a big crowd out, so just to probably kind of get to the matches.
Cleary knocks it forward, looking for Gilmore, but St Eunans are able to deal with it. And again, it's just sent forward into the Setanta half as they continue to battle away for it. It goes back to the keeper, Bellew. Bellew's efforts blocked down, is it?
No, it's out to Cleary.
Yeah, out to Cleary here. Cleary goes low, sends it forward to Turish. Turish having a battle there, but it's St Eunans that come away with it. Flicked over the top from McVeigh, and it's into the path of Finn. Finn now takes the challenge, one's advantage. Finn has a go. Finn knocks it over. First score of the game for Cormac Finn, and a good score it was as well under pressure.
Yeah, I was expecting more of that from Cormac Finn today. Oisin, he's great pace and strong, and he drove through the tackle well there and drove it over the bar. And I was expecting more from that from him today. Because he's a big player for Eunans if he's on form.
A couple of changes been made now by the Setanta bench. Kevin Campbell is into the game. Also coming in as well was earlier on was Rory Campbell.
Conor McGettigan coming in there.
Conor McGettigan wearing number 13 is in for Setanta. We're into the closing 8 minutes or so of this one. Setanta leading 218 to 111. Gilmore goes in with the shoulder. Cormac Finn trying to clear it out. It's going to break for Park, is it? But Danny Cullen manages to get a hurl ahead. He can't control it. Back it comes to Brian McIntyre now, trying to get it out of the danger zone. And already Kevin Campbell comes in with a hefty hurl on it, trying to clear it. But it's still positioned around the middle third. St Eunans won the break. St Eunans trying to move it forward. Shoulder comes in, and the free is on the edge of the 65. And winning that free was Conor O'Grady. And O'Grady's going to take this as well. And St Eunans look to get another score on the board.
Yeah, I suppose Eunans just need to see this game out and finish it in a positive, and just keep fighting to the end, keep the scoreboard ticking over, and stay defensively sound, and not concede anymore if possible.
Yeah. I was speaking to Tom Hennessy before the game. He says there was a belief in here that St Eunans could really put it up to Setanta, Mickey, but it just really hasn't materialised.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting this gap. Setanta has hot favourites, but maybe by 5 or 6 points. But Setanta have been showing probably a class above the day than Eunans, and I think Eunans are underperformed, to be honest. They'll not be happy.
Oh, coming close on that occasion was Kevin Keeley looking for a second goal for St Eunans, but it stayed in play. It was good work by McVeigh. It's sent back into the middle once again, but the control just isn't there. McGettigan looking to clear it for Setanta. St Eunans continue to hurry away. Here's O'Grady. O'Grady just lays it off to the left. It's picked up by Conor McVeigh, and it's going to be a free into St Eunans on the edge of the D as we enter the closing 6 minutes of this 2020 Donegal Senior Hurling Championship Final. And again, it's going to be a free to St Eunans. Is he going to go for goal here?
I think he has to. I shouldn't just maybe give them any hope, I suppose a good foul by Mark Callan is to give it doing everything but give a goal away, so probably the right thing to do.
Yeah. Callan and Finn having a bit of a tussle. The free is going to be taken by O'Grady again. He's got the sun on his eyes. I think O'Grady's just going to hit this as hard as he can and low and see what happens out of it. So he is. Eunans have 111 on the scoreboard, 218 of course to Setanta. It's a 10-point advantage at the moment. Here comes O'Grady. I think he's going to hit it hard and low. He's going to come off a hurl and go over the bar, and that's another point for O'Grady, which is 8 for O'Grady. He's taking the scoreboard over for them, but really at this stage, if they're going to close it, they need the goals, so they do. But that's last 3 scores actually, Mickey, have come from St Eunans.
I suppose Setanta's made a few changes there now, and took off the likes of Mark Devine and all. And
if Eunans got a goal, it would make for an interesting closing.
It would, but they need to start letting it in there for Eugene or somebody to try to get on the end of a goal. But
it's picked up in the defence by Setanta again, and it's the fullback for them, which is Boner. But they've been dispossessed. This is good work now by St Eunans. Sent across the 13, picked up by Keeley. Is there another goal in Keeley? Keeley has a goal. The keeper comes out. Bellew, it's saved.
Penalty.
The referee says it's a penalty to St Eunans, and it's a chance of another goal for St Eunans here, and a second goal in the game. And who'll take the penalty for Eunans?
Probably O'Grady or Sean McVeigh.
McVeigh's.
I think Setanta made a lot of changes here. And
it's going to be McVeigh, so it is.
He took a foot off the gas a wee bit. This takes it back to a 6-point game, Oisin, if he can put this away.
Yeah, so it's 112 to 218, and it is currently 9 points. And if Sean McVeigh can stick this in the back of the net, They'll bring it back to 6 with a couple of minutes left to go. Plus driver dash. Here comes McVeigh. Oh, great save by Bellew. McVeigh really didn't get the power on that, did he, Mickey?
Well, it wasn't a bad penalty. I suppose he could have had a wee bit sweeter, but that's a great save. That keeper's had 2 or 3 great saves today, and even the original shot from Kevin Keeley was saved by him there. So a great save. And maybe Sean could have kept it a wee bit lower, but you have to give all credit to the keeper there.
Bellew, the keeper for Setanta, pulling off the save. And here's a chance now that's going to drop out to the left and wide, and it was coming from Jared Gilmore. So we played 27 minutes. Take the water break out of it. There's about 26 minutes played, 4 to go. Ball sent up the middle of the park again into the half of Setanta. St Eunans battling away again. Halvey knocks it back. It's going to be knocked down this right hand side. Too much on it, is there? For Brian McIntyre, asking too much of the dual player for St Eunans, and it's going to be another sideline puck to Setanta, and the men from the cross will just be looking to run down the clock here and wrap up what would be a 16th senior hurling title, and back-to-back crowns, of course, for the Setanta men as well. Mickey, I've just been instructed you're picking the man of the match.
Is that right?
Yeah, for Donegal streaming TV, and of course for Highland Saturday Sport as well. There's no pressure, Mickey. We'll leave it with you.
Yeah.
Bellew, who pulled off that save from the penalty, knocks it out to the right hand side. It's picked up by Rowan, and Setanta trying to keep it in play. Big frame of Josh McGee in that occasion. McGee, of course, was the scorer of the second goal for Setanta. A lot of contenders for man of the match. Davin Flynn, of course, has been very lively up top. He has scored 6 points. Mark Devine's got a goal, but he's been impressive up there as well. Maybe not so much in the second half. He was involved in the second goal. He would be a contender, but there's lots of men on that Setanta side. The likes of Danny Cullen, of course, from centre half back, moving to midfield and also playing a role. But really, Setanta have showed their quality.
So actually, there's some big performances there today, starting with Davin, Jared Gilmore, 3 or 4 points. Danny, very solid, and Mark Devine, 4.5, more so in the first half. And you have to say the keeper's been very solid today, so 4 or 5 high contenders there.
Yeah, so who?
I think probably the man on form was probably Davin Flynn, hitting 6 points from play, and he probably gets a nod ahead of the rest of them, so going for 7 here now.
Davin Flynn looking for 7th point of the game. Davin Flynn is Mickey McCann's man of the match. 7 points. That's his first, I think, from a free, is it? The rest of all come from play.
6 from play.
So Davin Flynn, well done. We'll be hearing from him shortly, of course. He is the man of the match. So there's going to be 2 minutes of additional time at the end of the game, and it's a 2:19 to 1:12 match, and Flynn bringing his total to 7 points, the man of the match. Okay, so St Eunans have possession. Coming down this right hand side, Brian McIntyre's going to knock it in, but that's the story of the day. Things just not working out for St Eunans, and it's hooked forward again, over the top, looking for Flynn from the side of the pitch, knocks it in. Oh, there's another chance of a goal. No, it's cut out by St Eunans, and just Josh McGee just wasn't in the right place at the right time on that occasion. Sent forward by St Eunans again. Danny Cullen's read this and able to cut it out. Cullen has done a great marshalling job for Setanta today. Setanta, of course, won back-to-back titles in the Noughties, and now they're going to win back-to-back titles here again today at the O'Donnell Park, and they're going to repeat the feat of 2019. So they are against St Eunans as well. This, of course, is the home pitch of St Eunans, but it's the home pitch for a lot of hurling in Donegal, and it hasn't been a factor in favour of the Letterkenny men today. And another change coming for Setanta, and number 21 is Dean Harvey coming in as Fergus McGee announces that Davin Flynn is the man of the match for Setanta with those 7 points, and really he's been a live wire up top for the Setanta side today. We are into the closing seconds of the closing minutes of this match, and
expect Conor Grady to put this over.
Yeah, so Grady He's been accurate today. His averages have been good, and O'Grady knocks that one over again. O'Grady 8 points for St Eunans as they go to 113, so it's back to a 9-point game. Funny enough, it was 9 points last year, so it sits at 9 points at the moment.
Yeah,
and
it's just that the Setanta are in sole control from the start. Actually, last year maybe Eunans had put a good fight up to them for a certain amount of time, and then maybe fell away near the end. But I think St Eunans will be disappointed. You know, I think they're better than the show today, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Tom won't be happy with them, you know. And we're just going to love to fight another day, you know.
Yeah. St Eunans now taking it again with Brian McIntyre, knocks it in just under the area to see if there's a late goal here. Here's Keeley again.
Yes, Keeley.
Yeah, Keeley's got 2 goals now for Eunans. A late goal from Kevin Keeley has brought it back to a 6-point game. So that's a 2-13 to 2-19, and Kevin Keeley has now scored 2-1, but it's probably too little too late for them, Mickey.
Yeah, and it's Kevin's second goal of the second half, you know, and probably was involved in the penalty. That's more like Kevin there taking him on and all the rest, and I feel maybe Setanta switched off a wee bit here, and the defence they look vulnerable of scoring. Eunans look vulnerable getting goals here now, you know.
Yeah, we're into the closing seconds. We're at the discretion of the officials. Way up top is Sam McMenamin. The full-time whistle has gone here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny, and Setanta have retained their title. It's back-to-back titles and a 16th senior hurling title for the men from the Cross as they've won through here 2-19 to 2-13 on the scoreboard. It was a 6-point game, but really it could have been a bigger margin, only for a late flurry by St Eunans in the final quarter. Well, at half-time, Setanta were cruising. They were leading by 113 to 5 points, and there was a real sucker punch for St Eunans early in the game as the holders had a goal with Mark Devine in the second minute, and really from that Setanta didn't look back. The likes of Davin Flynn scored 2 points in that opening half. Jared Gilmore scored 4, and Declan Coulter scored 4 as well. The likes of Danny Cullen, Bernard Lafferty also getting in the act, and not forgetting about Richard Key as well. They were really in cruise control at the break. 113 to 5 was the score, and it was an 11-point advantage. They hit the first score of the opening half through Davin Flynn to make it 114 for Setanta. 4 unanswered scores then came from St Eunans as they tried to find a bit of rhythm. Kevin Keeley, O'Grady with 2, which brought his tally at that stage to 6 points, and Ryan Hulferty, who scored again for St Eunans. Hulferty with 2 clinkers of points for them, 1 in the first half and 1 in the second half. But just as Eunans were getting a bit of momentum, we had that second goal for Setanta coming from Josh McGee, and the score of the first, Mark Devine, was involved in that as well, as Davin Flynn also had a point. So a goal and a point in quick succession really put an end to the charge by St Eunans. Between that and the 16th minute, Setanta took control of things again, with Davin Flynn hitting 3 unanswered scores and Coulter getting in with another point too. With 10 minutes to go, it was 218 to 10 points, and Setanta with a big lead. And the management made a number of changes towards the end of the game, as St Eunans scored 2 goals. Kevin Keeley getting 2 of those. Conor O'Grady brought his tally to 8 points, but Davin Flynn was the man of the match, and he scored 7 points today for Setanta as they won through by 6 points, retaining their title 219 to 13 points. Mickey McCann was on co-commentary for Highland Radio Saturday Sport today. A deserving one in the end for Setanta. Yes, Eunans will be disappointed. Maybe the scoreboard doesn't suggest the game or that was closer than what it was, but Setanta certainly deserving champions once again.
Yeah, Setanta were a much far better team today, Oisín, and to be fair to Eunans, they battled to the end and brought back to 6 points, but Setanta never looked in any trouble today at all, Oisín, and from the first 5 minutes they're deserving winners, and a lot of the outstanding performers were on this.
Big congratulations and a big commiseration. Congratulations to Mr. Eunans, Parks Committee, for having the pitch on all the great conditions today. It's a tremendous pitch to play hurling on, but congratulations to the crowd as well, the clouds. Congratulations to St Eunans. You've put up a wonderful year again this year. In winning the semi-final together, coming to meet a very fine and gallant Setanta team today. To just on the day, show that little bit more edge and skill and look forward to the right decision for the match. But the progress that has occurred throughout the county with underage hurling, especially in the Eunans, is to be commended, and all clubs that are playing hurling and underage at the moment, and I think there's 11 clubs in the country are to be commended because we need that competitive edge at junior level, which was shown earlier today, and senior level, and the national two teams when I want to begin hurling here today. So we're match officials. There's absolutely nothing controversial in today's match, and anything that got a little bit towards the boiling point was dealt with very professionally by all the match officials, and you did game wonderful, and you actually had a very good game all right on the field, and there was nothing to be concerned about. So well done, the match officials. So we have, before the Monday, the 2020 Senior Hurling Champions for Donegal with back-to-back titles, and the great honour to be presented the cup with the Setanta Second Corporate.
Champions in Donegal, back-to-back rounds, and 16 for the men from the cross.
As a captain, I can honestly say this is the easiest job I've ever had. With so many leaders, and that much stand down there, and boys who've gone before us, that being a captain in this team is taking a toss, and if we're lucky enough today to let the trophy, that's all I have to do. So we've come a long way at the start of 2020. We have a very good inter-county campaign and all in pairship. And I think everybody here today probably didn't think that the club championship was going to go ahead. I'm very happy that it did. We worked like absolute dogs through March, April and May, from Zoom calls, in kitchens, hallways, bedrooms, common gallons and swimming pool at one stage. But it just, we worked so hard, and lads, this is what it's all about, so we're ready. Their backroom team, David, Mark, here, Andy and video. Thanks very much. Nothing was left, those are all the too big or too small. With Gary at the top of the pile, absolutely superb. And I think standing here today too, you have to give Paul and Marty and the management team that were there for so long before us, have to give you guys a mention as well. But everything was done this year and brought on another notch, so fair play to the backroom team. We thought the old value was enough. It turns out there's one good one. And Ollie Badger value came in, driving from Belfast, listening to his brother. It's probably a lot to take on, that 2-hour drive. We wanted to put the work in when you were there, and I think everybody can agree that you brought us to a different level. So thanks very much, Ollie. This year we proved again we are the best team in the county. That may be the case every single year, and it's up to us to keep driving it on. We're the best hockey in the county. Paddy and Eunans. Massive thank you to Paddy, Shelley, Sorka, Tom and Charlie. Haddock Coffee have been absolutely fantastic for us this year, and it's absolutely brilliant to have you on board. So Paddy, thanks a million. With the Eunans, Setanta have been in their position many times. Bert has complete dominance here for the close to 22 years. And it's not an easy place to sit. We're in the middle of our hurling patch, and I've absolutely no doubt that with the team that you have, the youth, physique, everything, your day will come. And I mean this in the best possible way, to keep pushing, because the units are strong. We know we have to be at the best for the game. So please share this in Eunans. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. Thanks very much, sir.
in celebration the COVID regulations. Ronaldo.
Thanks, Oisin. I'm joined by the man of the match, Davin. Davin, 7 points from yourself, 6 from play. You must be delighted this evening.
Well, look, I mean, just to get it over the line is all we really wanted there. You know, this is an added bonus. Obviously, you get your name on the scoreboard with a couple of points. But no, look, it was perfect conditions. I knew once we woke up this morning, there was no rain outside. This was going to be our day. You know,
very composed and very controlled for long parts of today's game.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, to be honest. You know, it was a different kind of a year. It was a different build-up to any final that you've ever played in. You know, because you're not meeting the same people out in the streets or even at the pitch. You know, a build-up to a final. There's always going to be parents down with young kids. You know, there was none of that this year. You know, so it was it didn't really feel like a county final, if that's the way you want to put it. You know, it was a very relaxed atmosphere. Even when we were training Thursday night, there was no build-up. There was no shouting and roaring, you know. So I suppose that kind of had an effect on every other man. I suppose you know, every man was at ease coming into the final, you know, and thankfully it worked out in our favour because, you know, the majority of lads were settled and composed on the ball throughout the day, you know.
Yeah. You got off to a flying start, 1-2 up after a few minutes, 11 points up at half time, stressed that lead out to 12, but St Eunans come back then and had a purple patch. They had 4 points in the bounce, but then Josh McGee's goal was the significant score of today, wasn't it?
It was definitely, yeah. There's just kind of got the nose out in front, I suppose. But like Eunans, you can never write them off. Like they're serious fit team. Like, and they'll always be in it into the dying minutes, I suppose. You know, as you say, going 12 points up and then it finishing there, you know, with 6 points. If that had a game had went on for another 5 or 10 minutes, who knows what would have happened? You know what I mean? It could have been all there for the taking because they have a serious build of fitness. And look, their day will come definitely.
Third title for Setanta in 4 years, but most significantly, it's the first time they've back-to-back titles since 2008.
Brilliant. Look, they always say that, you know, to do back-to-backs, that's a sign of a good team. And you know, like there was lads left off there on the sideline today that didn't start. You know, and that they're the kind of panels that you want. There's no point in going out with, you know, kind of 12 starters and you know, whatever, 3 lads just filling in the team. There was lads crying there, you know, when the team was named, sorry, because they felt they should have had a place in the team, like, and that's always a good way to be, even for trainings. There's always going to be that bit of bite in training and stuff, like. So yeah, look, it's a good squad we have there. So
very finally, disappointing that you can't get the opportunity to go and play in Ulster this year, given the conditions and given the COVID.
It is, but sure, look, it is what it is. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's health is really the main thing through this. You know, there'll be plenty more Ulsters, you know, next year and the following year after, please God, you know. But look, we're delighted to win that today, and although there won't be many celebrations, but look, we can celebrate again once we all get back to normal, you know.
Okay, Davin, thanks for your time, congratulations, and enjoy your celebrations.
Thanks a million.
Brilliant stuff indeed. That's Davin Flynn, who is man